welcome to our class today. We want us to look at the bank reconciliation statement. Bank reconciliation statement. I want us to start with the definition. So, a bank reconciliation statement is a detailed statement reconciling at a given date the balance in the cash book and the balance in the bank. So, it's a detailed statement reconciling at a given date the balance in the cash book and that in the bank statement. So in a business, most businesses, we operate the bank account where we record our transactions, because nowadays most businesses, they receive money through the bank. So in the bank reconciliation statement, we are going to look at the two accounts. The accounts which we are going to look at, we have the cash book. The cash book, that's the bank column. And the bank statement. So, the cash book affects the trader and the bank statement is prepared by the bank. So we have two statements, we have two books which are prepared in order to get the items to use in reconciling the two accounts. So I want us to look at the transactions which take place between the bank and the bank customer, who is the trader. So in the trader's cash book, cheques which are paid, the cheques which are paid in the bank, cheques paid into the bank, are debited. Cheques paid into the bank are debited. Then the cheques which are issued are credited. It is the same way like now the cash book, the 2 or 3 column cash book. Any check which you take to the bank, it means you are increasing the amount in the bank, so you debit. If you make payment to your suppliers, you credit. So the cheques which you issue, you credit. The cheques which you take to the bank, you debit. Then the bank inputs, in the bank books, the cash received by the bank, the cash received by the bank is debited. Is debited in the cash column or the cash account, and it is credited to the personal account of the trader. So when the bank receives money from the trader, it has to debit this cash account in the bank, then credit the personal account of the trader. So as you take money to the bank credits your account as you debit the cash book. Then it will debit this cash account in the bank. They have their cash account. Another transaction which is made by the bank, this is according to the books of the bank, is if you withdraw any money, any withdrawal made by the trader is debited in the personal account of the trader. So as the trader, when you withdraw money from the bank, now the bank will record on the debit side of your personal account. So the trader is the customer of the bank. That's the reason why we get credit or credit balance. We get credit balance in the bank statement. So when the bank issues the bank statement to the trader and it restores a credit balance, it means now the trader has money in the bank. But if it is a debit balance, it means there's no money in the bank. So we have debit balance in the bank statement, and the credit balance in the cash book. So that the customer of the bank, who is the trader, has a debt with the bank. So when the trader has a debt to the bank, we mean he has overdrawn the account. So there is an overdraft. Thus, the bank or the owner of the account has an overdraft. So any debit balance in the bank statement and a credit balance in the cash book shows an overdraft. So from there we can look at how the bank statement looks like and how the cash book looks like. Now in the bank statement we have the date. We have the date where you record the year, month, and also the day. So in the date you are supposed to divide it into two, where you write the year and the month, then you write the day when the transaction took place. Then we have the particulars, that's the details which were made about the transactions now. Then we have debit, credit, and balance. So in the balance side, we have to indicate whether it is a debit or a credit. So if they indicate that the balance is a debit balance in the bank statement, it means you have an overdraft. But if they indicate that the balance in the bank statement it is a credit, then you have money in your account. So in most cases, you are given the balance at the end of a given period, mostly at the end of the month. You are given the balance which is in the bank. So if it is a negative, it means you have to pay the bank. You have a debt to the bank. But if it is a credit, it means that it is a positive balance. We have money in the account. So whenever you take some money to the bank, we call them deposits, you record, now the bank will record on the credit side, meaning your account is increasing. And if you withdraw any amount which you take from the account, it means you are reducing your account. So the bank will debit your account. So the bank statement will show the details in the personal account of the trader. Then we have the unpaid checks. There are some checks which you can take to the bank, but they forget to pay, they debit. Then we have the standing orders and the bank charges, they debit because they're supposed to be paid and you have not recorded them in the cash book. So, for example, you took some money to the bank, or there are some transactions which have been made by the bank and you don't know how they have been made and you have not included them in the cash book. Because you understand how the cash book looks like, now I want us to look at how you are going to update the cash book for you to get the right figure which you are going to use in reconciling the cash book and the bank statement. So you are given the balance brought down in the cash book, that's the main cash book. You record the balance brought down on the debit side. Then any deposit which you make, as I said here, when you take money to the bank, you debit your account. So you debit the cash book. Any deposit which has been made directly to the bank by the customers, mostly the buyers who buy goods on the credit, but they want to pay, instead of coming with the cash to the business, they go straight to the bank and make the deposit. You debit. Then we have withdrawals. Any amount which you take from the bank, you credit. Then you are supposed to indicate a check number. Then, if there is any unpaid check, next one you credit. Then we have the standing orders, bank charges, and any balance carried down. You write on the credit side. So, as I have explained, debit or credit, we have them on the bank statement. So the column in the bank statement will indicate the position of the account. CR meaning credit, DR meaning debit will indicate the position of the account, meaning CR will indicate a positive position, meaning you have money in the bank. Then debit will indicate a negative position, meaning you hold the bank, you have an overdraft. So that's why I say DR means overdrawing or overdraft. You have overdrawn your account. CR, it means that the holder has a balance in the bank account. Okay, because of that, I would like us to look at the factors which make or which contribute to the difference between the two accounts. So the factors which contribute to the difference. Between bank statement and the cash book. So we have the outstanding checks. We have the outstanding checks. Now the outstanding checks, these are the checks which have been drawn and entered the cash book, but they have not been presented to the bank for payment. The checks which have been drawn, they have been drawn. They have been drawn and entered in the cash book, but they have not been presented for payment. Until the bank statement date. So the trader can forget. He has drawn some checks. He has given the amount, or he has credited the supplier, but he has not taken the check to the bank to be paid for. So the other name for this outstanding check is, we call them unpresented checks. So we have the details of this check in the cash book, but there's no entry in the bank statement showing the checks. Then we have another item. We have uncredited items. The purpose of the outstanding checks, whereby the checks have been drawn by the trader, have been taken to the bank to be paid, but the bank has not recorded or has not credited the account of the payee. These are the checks received and entered in the cash book, but have not been paid, have not been recorded in the bank statement. So the details can be found in the cash book, but they cannot be found in the bank statement. Another item, there are so many, we have the book errors. The book errors means, instead of writing the correct amount on the debit side or on the credit side, you write wrong amounts. So you can say, you can have wrong debits and credits, or the amount, you can say the amount which has been wrongly debited or credited. Another factor is the omissions. The ones which are said in the cash book, they are omitted. You forget to record in the cash book. So we call them omissions. The omissions can include the bank charges, we have the standing orders, we have the direct debits. Like now, we have the direct deposit, is our direct debit. We can have the dishonored checks. We can have the dividends. There are so many. Also, we can have the unpaid checks. So, these ones, all these items are found in the bank statement, but they are not in the cash book. So, the omissions, mostly they are found in the bank statement, but no, they are not recorded in the cash book. And the two items are recorded in the bank statement, but they are recorded in the cash book, but they are not recorded in the bank statement. So, due to that, I would like us to look at the procedure